What is going on, Mullen fans? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today I'm going to give you a very quick update on what the data points is really saying. So I'm going to go over all the stuff you need to know. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So this is a little bit more of a piggyback as well from my video last night, how there's just something wrong with the sentiment right now. A lot of people are just waiting for, I think, the worst for Mullen and David to come, aka dilution. So a lot of people are waiting for instance, that either the S1 or the S3, whatever is submitted, for dilution purposes. And over and above that though, I think people are also just waiting for some news, anything in any regard, whether it just be IGO delivery confirmation from David. So I think right now people are just not really liking the silence. And I think it is very hard for newer investors just to sit back, relax, enjoy the ride. But unfortunately, this is where it is a little bit more of a problem because, for instance, shorts returned a lot of shares today. Short score is currently 77, utilization is 100%, but shorts were able to take advantage of the fear and return almost about 4 million shares, give or take, so 3.7 million. Cost to borrow as well, once again, is continuing to go down. So it is 12.47%, which is the percentage of the free float, which of course has gone down quite a lot over the last couple of days. So shorts are taking advantage of the broader fear right now, and it is really sad because fundamentally there's a lot of good things that is coming for Mullen, and you can even tell that based on the latest round of 13Fs. A lot of big institutions have been increasing their position, even Citibank as well. A lot of other ones based on ETFs and so forth, a lot have actually increased. On the contrary though, very little have decreased, such as Principal Financial, Victory Capital. Those ones reduced at 15-18%, but other than that, everyone has been increasing their position. So clearly, there's a lot of value to be sought out in Mullen. A lot of people care too much about the short-term problems. And unfortunately, by doing so, you're kind of losing sight of the whole and the bigger picture in the grand scheme of things. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. You guys do you, whatever works best for you guys. I just like to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, no matter what though. And in my opinion though, this whole downtrend that's been happening is largely because of just lack of news, lack of PR, and just the sentiment. And it is all one very bad cycle in that grand scheme of things. But again, what the data points are saying, shorts are still continuing to hedge. And you can tell that based on these abnormal ones right here. Because for instance, I don't think anyone is buying $50,000 worth of calls. So of course, with there being a lot of calls, that is still fairly optimistic that they are anticipating behind the scenes that Mullen could potentially go up very, very fast. But over and above that, I always like to give you a good update on both the secondary market and dark pool. These are the dark pool transactions. It is pretty high, so most likely this is linked to that 3 million shares that is and was returned that I just brought up as far as shorts. So that's probably why there's a lot more buying activity that's been happening over the last 2 days because they've been covering. And when it comes down to the secondary market, there was 3 transactions, 107, 142, and 185,000. So once again, you guys take that information how you guys see fit. And outside of that though, it's just the technicals. Technicals, surprisingly enough, even though it's gone down quite a lot over the last couple of days, still is fairly optimistic. Stochastic is currently 76, so it is considered a little bit more overbought in that regard though. But I think that a lot of people are just anticipating some news, and with that news, it should go up very, very fast. But there is that deviation, so a little bit more of a bullish sentiment is wanting to form. Number of retail investors are for the most part getting out for the last couple of days, which of course I think is very much linked to that sentiment. And on the actual chart though, one next point to watch for is around 34 cents. That is that central boiling band. If it does break that, then unfortunately you do have to anticipate that 30 cents is basically coming. And it does really suck in that regard because I think right now Mullen had a very good opportunity to break out for the last 2 weeks or so. But of course, I could be completely wrong about all this, or maybe not, who knows. Let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. Personally, how I see things going at the rate it's going, it most likely is going to be trending down to around that 30-cent mark. My own thoughts on that, of course, like I said, but at this stage in the game, investors want PR, even if it's justified or not. Investors want PR. David clearly does not want to give PR. He wants to be silent for whatever reason, whether he's being told to by lawyers or he just generally has no updates to give. There's something that is basically wrong in that whole aspect right now. So it's a little bit more of a toxic kind of relationship that David and investors do have. And unfortunately, as some of you may or may not know, toxic relationships generally don't work. So I think right now there does have to be something that does change, but who knows? I'm not a relationship advisor either. So let me know your thoughts on all of that in the comments below. If you haven't already, hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. Keep in mind, on my other channel, Financial Journey, in roughly about 4 hours, give or take, I am going to be live streaming. So pop over there and I'll be able to answer all your questions, go over things in a little bit deeper of a context. So I'm going to go over all that stuff, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you do like my Mullen content, want to support the channel, take a look at my memberships, link in the description below, or just hit the join button at the bottom of the screen. And with all that said though, I appreciate you guys watching. Let's all make a lot of money on Mullen.